Hi everyone, Annette Kessler here, and welcome back to our 6 scrapbook page idea series. Today we're going to make 3 types of flaps, so let's get started. So let's start with our first flap. Take your 6 by 10 piece of paper, double-sided cardstock, and score it at 6 inches. We're going to fold the page. Since it's a double-sided cardstock, you can choose what side you want to be on the inside and what side you want to be on the outside. This is our first page. It's a side flap, and we're going to attach it to the first binding flap. Let's just move them from side to side first to make sure they're functioning properly. And we're going to apply glue to the left side of the first binding flap, and then attach the flap to the binding flap where the fold is facing the outside. Make sure to align both edges of the page with both edges of the binding flap, and also align your page with the cover itself, so you make sure it's completely straight and aligned. Burnish your page on both sides. Flip it back and forth to make sure it's in its right position. The back side of each of our flaps is going to be a 6 by 6 square, and we're going to apply glue to the entire back side of the flap, and this is going to be the other side of our page. Now when you apply your glue, make sure to apply it on the binding flap as well, not just the back side of the page that we just attached. We are basically creating a sandwich between the two papers with the binding flap in the middle. Align your 6 by 6 square with the page that you already have attached and the binding flap, of course, and also make sure to align it with the cover. Use your bone folder to attach the pages well. Make sure there are no wrinkles or bubbles, and again, just keep aligning them until they're exactly aligned. And this is our first page. You can see that all the colors match, and as I said before, you can choose whatever type of paper collection that you have in your stash, as long as the pages are 12 by 12 double-sided cardstock. Our next flap, we're going to use the 6 by 12 piece, and we're going to score it at 6 inches and at 9 inches. This is a double side flap because we're going to fold it twice. Once on the 6-inch line, which is basically in half, because remember we have a 6 by 12 piece of paper. And now we're going to fold the second fold line back. This is the 9-inch fold line, and now we have a little accordion or half an accordion, and this is going to be our second flap page. Apply glue to the left side of the second binding flap and attach your flap page the same way we did with our first page, aligning it with the cover, the first page, and the binding flap. This is why it's really good to use liquid glue. It allows you some movement before the glue is dry, and then you can align it and move it slightly to its position. That's why I don't use double-sided tape at this point. And again, we're going to sandwich our binding flap with another piece of 6 by 6 square to go on the back side of the double side flap. And this one also, make sure to align it with everything else. That means the cover, the previous page, the binding flap, and the page that we've attached it to. And go over it with your bone folder so we'll have no wrinkles and no bubbles. So this is our second page. For our third page, we need the 4.5 by 12 piece, and we're going to score it at 3 inches and at 9 inches. And then we're going to fold it to the same direction. It's 2 valley folds to the inside like this. And this is a top flap like this, and we're going to bring the 4.5 by 3 piece and attach it to the front. In order for a flap to open, we need to apply glue only to the top half of our small square here, of our small piece. It's going to be attached only to the top flap and not to the bottom flap, which will allow the flap to open and close. Align it in the center, and then you'll be able to open and close it like this. Now for our pages, we're going to need a 6 by 6 square, and we're going to attach it to the left side of our third binding flap, the same way we did with the other 2 pages. Don't forget to align it with the cover and with the binding flap. Make sure it's all straight and centered. And then we'll be able to attach our flap, our top flap, to the center of the page. Apply glue to the back side of your flap, and then simply attach it to your page. You can attach it in the center, or you can decide to align it more to the left or to the right. Make sure to align it with your page and make sure that it's straight. Again, this is why liquid glue is really handy here. You can put it exactly where you want it because the glue is not dry yet, so you can still move it. This is how it opens. And the last 6 by 6 square will go on the back side of this page, creating a sandwich with the binding flap. And basically these are our pages of the mini album. Make sure to align it properly and have no bubbles or wrinkles. So these are our pages, and in the next video we're going to add some pockets to our pages. Let's review what we have done so far. So this is how it looks from the side, our 3 attached pages. So this is our side flap. This is our double side flap, and this is our top flap. So next time we'll add pockets to our empty pages and continue to work on our mini album.